They came with the ships. In the 1700s, as New York blossomed into a trading port, an unintended passenger disembarked, the brown rat, or Ratus norvegicus. From the wooden hulls of merchant ships, they skittered into the city's alleys and basements, beginning their quiet conquest. As the city's population surged, so did waste, and the rats thrived. By the late 1800s, they were everywhere, in tenement basements, beneath cobblestone streets, inside market stalls. They didn't just survive. They adapted. Their senses sharpened. Their population exploded. New York's greatest engineering feat, the subway, gave rats a kingdom. Warm, dark, and always full of food. Entire generations were born beneath the tracks. Some tunnels became inaccessible to humans but were ruled by rat colonies, organized, territorial, and cunning. In 1940, New York declared its first war on rats. Traps, poisons, and extermination squads were deployed. But rats are survivors. They learned to avoid traps, developed resistance to poisons, and even migrated in response to city construction. Every battle won by humans came with a new trick learned by the rats. Today's New York rats are not the same as those from a century ago. They're bigger, bolder, and smarter. In some boroughs, rats have developed behaviors that mirror pack hunting. They've been seen coordinating food raids and even confronting humans head-on. When COVID-19 shut down the city, something strange happened. Rats came out during daylight. With restaurants closed and garbage reduced, they grew desperate and aggressive. Some invaded homes. Others cannibalized their own. The invisible kingdom was now clawing at the surface. Despite the fear they spark, rats play an ecological role. They clean up waste, feed urban predators, and reveal the cracks in the city's systems. Yet the question remains, can New York truly coexist with rats, or will one side finally win? The story of New York City is not just one of people, buildings, and ambition. It's also the story of survival, of creatures that adapted, endured, and built their own underground empire. While we live above ground, they rule below. And in a way, they are the mirror of our own resilience, hunger, and chaos. The story of New York City's rats is more than just an urban horror tale or an amusing anecdote of subway sightings. It is a powerful, unsettling reflection of human civilization itself, a story of survival, adaptation, and the unintended consequences of rapid progress. First and foremost, we learn that nature always finds a way. When we build cities, pave streets, and dig tunnels, we don't just reshape the world for ourselves, we unknowingly carve out new ecosystems for other creatures. Rats didn't choose New York. We invited them in. With every pile of waste, every neglected tunnel, and every food cart corner, we extended an invitation to a species that would become one of our most persistent companions. But more than their biology or behavior, it is their resilience that stuns us. Rats have outlived kings, pandemics, plagues, and skyscrapers. They've seen this city transform from dirt paths to digital billboards, yet they remain. Where humans advance through innovation, rats adapt through instinct. And in that, they teach us something profound, that raw determination can rival even the most complex intelligence. We also learn that the problems we ignore only grow stronger in the shadows. New York has fought countless wars on rats, and yet, none have fully succeeded. Why? Because our focus has often been on the symptoms, traps, poisons, panic, and not the cause, our own negligence. Piles of trash, crumbling infrastructure, and economic disparity all feed into the ecosystem rats thrive in. In this way, the rat problem is not just about rats, it's about us. There's also a darker mirror here. Rats reflect our city's underworlds and inequalities. Just as there's a gleaming Manhattan, there's an underground forgotten by policy and public funding. Rats don't just live in the sewers, they live in the overlooked corners of society, just like the marginalized people who often share those spaces. In a strange way, their story is an echo of the city's own divisions. And finally, we learn that even the most reviled creature can hold value, meaning, and unexpected wisdom. Rats are part of the food chain. They feed hawks, owls, foxes, and snakes. They show scientists how cities function. Their behavior has even inspired breakthroughs in psychology and urban planning. Despite our hatred of them, they belong, not because we want them to, but because we made it so. So, the next time we see a rat dart across a sidewalk or scurry into the subway dark, perhaps we should pause. Not to admire it, but to reflect. Because in its small, twitchy form lies a story of our own making. The story of the rats of New York is ultimately the story of unintended consequences, the stubbornness of life, and the invisible, enduring systems that exist just below the surface of our awareness. It's a reminder that in the shadows of our world, entire civilizations can rise, quietly, patiently, and powerfully.